Hello, I am just getting my shoes on, so if I'm jumping in and out of frame, I'm very sorry. I am cutting it very close, not in terms of like the amount of time I've left to get there, but in terms of usually if I say I want to leave at, call it 8:30, I would usually be out of the house by 8:20, and I am now 2 minutes away from the time I said I wanted to leave, so I'm feeling like a little bit nervous, but it should be okay. I mean, I've literally just got to get my shoes on and then I'm ready to go. The lipstick I've gone for is a bit brighter than I would usually go. I thought I was picking up my like pinky one, but this one's more red. Hopefully it'll fade, it'll be fine, I'm not too worried. I wasn't nervous at all until literally a minute ago when I was thinking about what I was going to say to you and then realised that actually maybe there's going to be improv and I don't like improv. Improv's fun, but I don't think I'm very good at it. So we'll see. On the one hand, it's really nice not to have to prepare anything because you can't be panicking. But on the other hand, I'm like, oh, I would like a sense of what we're going to be doing. And it's meant to be quite a long audition as well. It's meant to be an hour and a half, they say, or up to an hour and a half. So that feels quite long, but we shall see. Anyway, I need to go. I will speak to you probably much later. Bye. Hello. It is whatever time it is. I'm home from work. And let me tell you about the audition, first of all. I just want to come right out and say I had a wonderful time at the audition. It was just a lot of fun. And I think I often find that the case when it's a group audition. It's just an opportunity to play and it's fun. The audition slot was at 10 o'clock, but they told us to get there half an hour early to, sign up and register and whatnot. And so I got there at 9:15, 15 minutes before the half hour that they told us to get there before. And I was the first one there, and at first I couldn't find it, and then I saw these two women walk into a building and I noticed that the number was matched what my instructions said. And I went to follow them and they sort of turned around and went, "Are you here for the audition?" And I said yes, and they said, "Would you mind just waiting outside?" Which, not a problem. And slowly but surely more people joined and everyone we all waited outside. And do you know what, like even just that initial time was so nice because we were all just chatting, getting to know each other, finding out each other's backgrounds and where we're from and all that. So that alone just already gave me such a good feeling. And this always, well, I think in my experience, this often happens when I do group auditions, which is just, and not even group auditions, any audition. There's this stereotype of people really being quite nasty to each other and there's a lot of competition and whatever in the industry. And yeah, I'm sure that's somewhere in the industry, but not that I've experienced. Every audition I think I've gone to so far, everyone is so friendly and lovely. And yeah, I'm sure in the back of people's minds, they're thinking, I want to get this job more so than anyone else in this room. But that doesn't come across, and it's really nice to just be a part of a bunch of people who want to do the same thing. Anyway, eventually we go in and we do the registration and then they give us a bunch of scripts to choose from and they say, you know, go with the one that you feel most affiliated with. And I picked up one that I was quite happy with, read over it quite a lot of times. And I was like, yeah, feel good about this. And then they paired us off and we were an uneven number. So in the end, I was the one on my own. Not really through anyone's fault, it was just the way the pairings worked. And so I ended up completely scrapping the script I had already read and doing a monologue instead. And yeah, it wasn't the character that I felt most affiliated with. And yeah, it wasn't the one that I would have picked, but I still had a lot of fun with it and it was just fun to do. And actually I get the feeling that with the monologue, I was able to go bigger and bolder than necessarily I would have with the character. As in the two different characters because of how different they were. I feel like I was able to show off more of the bigness which you need for panzo with the monologue. And then we all watched each other, which is always so much fun, especially when it's a panzo and it's just fun. And that was it. Went home earlier than expected, although ended up taking a much longer route. I was going straight from the audition to work and very much ended up with some delays, but luckily I wasn't in a rush. So got to work and work was super chill and just really nice. And now I'm home. I'm not really too sure what's gonna happen this evening, depending on Wayne and his family. But for now, the number one thing I want to do is watch Sam's vlog from our trip together because she's the first to upload the first of her videos and I'm very excited to sit down and watch it. I'm also definitely in the mood for pancakes and we still have some pancakes left over from the weekend, so I think I will be eating those, not right away, but at some point. And then we will see how the evening progresses. One of my colleagues just mentioned that Wednesday, the first part of Wednesday is out, so if we don't end up doing something out and about, I might suggest that to Wayne as a little something to do tonight. But I'll try and keep you posted. But for now, I'm gonna watch Sam's video, which I'll link below as well. Yee! Hello, just to come in and say this evening's been alright. It hasn't been quite as productive as it could have been or as I would have liked it to be. And that's mainly just because I didn't hear from Wayne on time, and so I was, you know, playing that waiting game of, oh, do I do something or do I wait? But it was a chill evening, so that was nice. It is still quite early, but I am just feeling a bit tired. I feel bored, to be honest. I think if I'd known how today was gonna pan out, like this evening, I probably would have gone for a run, but it didn't happen. But I'll try and go on one tomorrow if I can. In fact, I would really like to go on one tomorrow because I will not have time for the rest of the week, and now I regret even more how today has gone. That's annoying. Oh well. I'm gonna end the vlogging for today here, but I think I'm gonna film a video for, like, a separate video for YouTube. So I'm gonna start that now, and I will see you all probably tomorrow, I imagine. I did get to film a video today that I have been wanting to do for a while, so I'm very happy about that, and I hope that I'll be able to edit it tomorrow. And I'm very confident that it will have gone up before this video has, so I'll link it up in the cards. Anyway, I will see you all probably tomorrow. Bye! Good morning. I have been hyping myself up all day to go for a really long run today, and I've been working from home, which has been lovely, but I just got a notification to say I am working my other job this evening. Thank goodness it's in my calendar, because I had completely erased that from memory. But I'm really annoyed about that because I don't have another day to run this week. I'm gonna double check that I am definitely scheduled on for this evening, but I do need to basically get ready to leave. I'm meant to finish work at 4:45 and I start this other job at 5, and realistically I think it's a 20-minute bus journey and it's gonna depend on traffic, so it's gonna be tight. But I need to be ready to walk out the door at 4:45. This has definitely brought me some stress, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. More than anything, I'm just annoyed. I was finally getting to a stage of, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my longest run so far, and probably my longest run of the training block. But I guess I'm gonna have to postpone it until, I can't do Monday even. I won't do Monday, I won't do Tuesday, so it'll be Wednesday at the earliest. That's really annoying. This is going in my vlog, by the way, but I think I'll film a clip for running as well. I'll just double check. It's been a very chill day, which has been nice, but whew, let's see how this evening then pans out. Hello. Here's the story of me getting to work this afternoon. I left perfectly on time, and on my phone it said there was about a 5-minute wait for the bus, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and before long, I think it was 14 minutes that I had to wait for a bus, which meant that I did end up getting to work 10 minutes late. Oh, hold on, actually, sorry, jumping ahead here. As I was waiting at the bus stop, a little very cute dog came up and sort of like nuzzles into my leg. Wonderful. Stayed there, and after a minute or two got up and moved on, and my leg felt a little bit wet, and I looked down and guess what? The dog had peed on me. Just what I wanted, just wonderful. In fact, while I'm talking to you, I'm gonna get started on prepping food. I'm gonna make some egg fried rice with some onion today. So I'm gonna do some chopping of the onion while I'm chatting to you. So anyway, messaged the right people and also called the office just to let them know, and luckily they said it was very quiet, so no problem. Eventually, the bus comes and I get on it, I tap, and literally before the bus has even left the stop, I get a call back from the office to say, actually, it's so quiet that if you don't want to come, that's fine. And I was not happy about that call because I'd already tapped on and I'd already sort of sacrificed my evening. Not even my evening, my run. That's the thing I was most upset about not being able to do. But at that point I said, well, I've now paid for the bus and so I'd like to earn that money back, let me come. And so I did, and it was honestly such a quiet shift. I can't even think of what I did. I hadn't been to this job in about a month, so I was catching up on emails. And that did take me, I would say, like the first hour or so. And then we just like played quizzes and chatted and whatnot. Like, it was really not much happening. But I had a good journey home, thankfully. So it's now really not too late. It's 8:15. And I'm gonna make this food and continue listening to my audiobook. I'm now listening to Beach Read by Emily Henry, who I love. And I have an hour and 11 minutes left, so I should be able to finish this tonight, I reckon. And then I think I wanna find, well, maybe also an audiobook, but definitely an ebook, because I've got a few shifts coming up where I'm gonna be sat behind a computer, but it's gonna be quiet. And so I like to just be able to have that open in the background. I was actually gonna try and find something today, but then we ended up all chatting and, you know, doing quizzes, so didn't end up finding anything. Ooh, we were doing well, but that suddenly stung my eye. I got a free book at work today. Now there were actually like 6 or something to begin with, but we were giving them out, so I didn't look at all of them. And by the time I left, there were 3 left, and one was called A Man Called Over, maybe? Which I have heard good things about. It was the highest rated of the 3 on Storygraph, but equally the description was that it's a grumpy old man, and I don't really like grumpy main characters, I've learned. So I didn't take that one. The other one was, I think it was called 10 Minutes and 38 Seconds by, first name I think started with an E and last name was something like Shafi, maybe? And it did also look interesting, but, and I had all 3 of these in front of me the whole time trying to decide, but I went for this one, which is called Homeland Elegies, and it seems to be about 9/11 and a father and son, sort of, yeah, that's it. And it's a blend of fact and fiction, so I do like that. And I like historical stuff, even though 9/11 definitely doesn't feel historical in the sense of historical fiction, but I'm just curious to read it from this perspective. I feel like with 9/11, it's the kind of thing that you hear a lot about and sort of, you know people's experiences individually, but it's usually just like, oh, I remember seeing it on the news, or oh, I was meant to be in town that day, but I wasn't. But not necessarily sort of the long-term impact, and it looks like this is going to be looking at that a bit more. So I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I am curious about it. And apparently it's been recommended by Barack Obama, so should be good, right? Right, I'm gonna cook and continue to listen to my audiobook, and I may see you later, who's to say, but I just wanted to give you all those updates. Hello. I've just come in from an incredibly boring day at work, and I've got about an hour and a half before I need to go out for Shabbat. The weather has suddenly got very warm and I'm very unhappy about it. And my colleague informed me that we have another heat wave coming up, which I'm definitely not happy about. All of next week basically is going to be 25 plus, up to 31 according to my phone. Ridiculous. But aside from all that, I had a moment, just while I was at work, of just bathing in how happy I am in life at the moment. I just feel so content with everything that I'm doing and the way life is. And obviously there are things I would want more, namely, an acting career that's happening currently as opposed to past and future. And obviously more money, because who doesn't want that? But that being said, I do have to acknowledge that I don't know how to phrase this. I think I'm in a position where I'm comfortable in terms of money. Comfortable by my standards. Obviously this place is tiny, I don't go out loads, when I go to the theatre I only get the deals. I never would go sort of on a whim if I just feel like it and can't find a deal. So yeah, I'm making sacrifices, but with the parameters that I am comfortable living in, I feel very content at the moment. But then also, mentally and physically, I'm feeling good. So that's nice. It's nice. I think I mentioned this actually in a recent video as well, but it's just nice to be in that mindset and feel that way. Anyway, I just wanted to share that, and I don't know if I'll see you again before Sunday, and I don't even know if I'll see you on Sunday, to be honest. But we'll see. I'll see you at some point. Yay! Hello. I came home from work about half an hour ago, and I need to leave for my second job in about 45 minutes, maybe just under. And I was debating what I was going to have for lunch, and initially I was quite set on just having some bread with cream cheese and cucumber. But last night, well, over the last few days, I've decided that we're going to have to go back in time here, just bear with. We were given leftover berry compote from my grandmother, I think around Pesach time, so sort of April. And we've never had the right sort of food to eat with it, because you don't eat it on your own. Or at least I don't think we would. And it's been sat there and really bothering me because it's taking up so much well, not loads, but some freezer space, and we have a very small freezer. And then on Monday, I had the pizza, for which I bought canned pineapple, and I only used very little. And then last night we had we had pizza again, sorry. And so I used some more pineapple, but again, there was still loads left. So I thought, this isn't gonna last much longer, I'll put it in the freezer as well. And I had some orange juice that I was not 100% sure I trusted. So I froze some of it, but I put it in the same container as the berry compote, so I only sort of fit what fit, which wasn't a lot. But Wayne drank the rest and said it was fine. And the intention for all 3 of those was to make a smoothie. I have a blender, but I've not used it. I don't think I've used it once since I moved in here. But finally, today was the day. I've already had a glass. This is sort of the rest. I've frozen, there was a little bit left, which I've frozen into ice cubes. So hopefully, because I had to take so long to defrost everything and I made a mess and it took time and just not ideal, but getting lots of fruit and cold intake today and some milk I added and some chia seeds. So quite healthy, which is good because aside from eating apples every day, which I do almost every day, but aside from that, I don't really eat many fruit or vegetables. So this feels like a very good sort of boost. It's a really pretty colour as well. Usually when I make smoothies, they're less purple, they're more, I think slightly more dark and slightly more red, but I really like this colour. And I brought out my reusable straw and I didn't need it. Like I could just drink from the glass, but there's something about the straw that just makes it a nicer experience. It just feels fancier. I've also been listening loads to my audiobook, which I think it came at the recommendation of Hannah Witten. It's called The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi and I'm really enjoying it. I think the book is 17 hours and I'm 12 and a half hours in and I started it last night. So clearly I am enjoying it. Also, I decided to pair this top with this skirt, the new skirt today, and that's not something I've done before, but it's definitely something I've thought about a lot. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I don't know. I love the skirt individually, I love the top individually. I think the thing that I'm struggling with is that this is loose and I feel like I would want it tucked in. That's sort of more of the shape I go for generally. But for a hot summer's day, which is so stupid, I hate that it's hot, it very much does the job. I'm gonna continue drinking this and then I'm gonna head to work for round 2. I'm expecting tonight to be boring, but we shall see. Hello, I've just come back, not from work. I met up with a friend after work, which was lovely, but it is so hot. It's so humid. I think it was fine during the day, although I don't know because I work in a lovely air-conditioned place. But when I was walking to meet my friend, it was reasonable, it was decent, but I've just gone shopping and when I walked out, it was just like such thick air. So that's not great. I'm really annoyed because I did this big shop. I'd planned we needed to do quite a top up of like toiletries and kitchen stuff. So I very much knew that this was going to be a big shop and I made a list and everything and we have a voucher that gives us triple points and I brought it with and I like even made sure we had 2 copies, so I gave a copy to Wayne as well just in case. And as I was packing things up at the till, I realised that I'd forgotten to use it, which is very annoying. I had 2 bars on my battery and then it just died. That was really rude, so I don't know where it cut off, but basically I forgot to use it and I'm really annoyed at myself. I could have probably asked to like return everything and then buy it all again, but I wasn't in the mood for that. And at least I've done the top-up shop, so that's good. I finished reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, I think it's called, today, and that was so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll talk about it in my end of year review, not end of year, well also end of year, but end of month reviews, but it was a good book. And I was worried when I started it because it was 17 hours long and I was like, should I risk this? Because I'm next in line for a book and it's predicting that it'll be available on the 14th of August. But I started this one Saturday night and finished it today, so I'm very glad I read it. I'm gonna have a chill evening. I'm very hungry, so I've put on a very lazy, easy meal. It's actually leftovers, but it's just leftovers from another, you know, pretty unhealthy meal. So I've got some chips in the oven, I'm gonna fry an egg with toast, and I'm also gonna have a little bit of garlic bread. But I'm very hungry, so I'm impatient. And then I'm just gonna, I think, watch some YouTube or listen. I'm listening to another book now, or whatever else. We shall see. I'm too warm for this though. I'm not happy about another heat wave. I don't know if I've already ranted about it, but suffice it to say, I'm not best pleased. Hello, it is unbearably hot. It's 32 degrees according to my phone and 29 degrees in here. I'm not happy, so I'm gonna make a smoothie to try and cool myself down, even though we probably will have quite a nice meal tonight because Wayne's off, so we'll be cooking together. But I need something cold, I need something healthy. I'm so sweaty, it's so hot, I'm hating this, but I am excited about this smoothie, and the reason why I'm extra excited about it is because I bought some stuff yesterday to go with it. So I bought the cheapest orange juice I could find. It's probably not the healthiest, but I don't really care. And the thing I'm most excited about is I bought some yogurt. And the reason I'm excited about this, and it's so silly because like I'm sure a lot of people have yogurt in their smoothies, but growing up, whenever we made smoothies, which we made a lot in Australia, the short way to explain this is in Judaism, you have 3 different sort of sets of cutlery and utensils and kitchenware. You have milk, you have meat, and then you have something called parv, which is neither milk nor meat. And our smoothie, our blender, whatever you want to call it, the machine, was parv, which means we couldn't have any yogurt or milk or anything. And so I've never had yogurt in my smoothie before, at least not in homemade smoothies, and I'm very excited. And then I've got, this is what I used last time as well. I think I filmed a little tiny bit. There's some berry compotes. I think I told you about it. Then there's like a thin layer of orange juice that was the drop that I could save, and then some pineapple that was canned. I think I'm just gonna make all of it, like use the rest of this, and then if there's any left, I can put it in the fridge and have it tomorrow. Or, I don't know, like put it in the freezer. That's what I've done with the remainders of last time, so I'll just build a collection of like leftovers. The only thing is, and I'm really annoyed about this is the lid for it, and I can't find the circular thing that goes here, which obviously is not ideal because it can spray everywhere. But we make do for now and see what happens. Ugh. The annoying thing about this, even though it was dirt cheap, which obviously is great, is it's hard to open because it doesn't have like an obvious opening. Oh, it's spilling everywhere. Oh, I'm not happy about this. Oh, don't beep at me. Oh, this is not ideal, but we make do. I thought this would be a quick, you know, 1, 2, throw everything in and that's it, but no. Nothing's ever that easy when I'm in the kitchen, even for something as straightforward as a smoothie, where you literally do just throw things in. Ah well. I'm gonna throw in some chia seeds too. And now, time for the big moments. The yogurt! Yay! Like, it shouldn't make me this happy, but it does. I'm doing this so not aesthetically. I will show you how it looks before I blend it all up, but it's not beautiful in the slightest. You see people like on Instagram and stuff make these beautiful combinations, and that is not what I have done. I am a little bit concerned that it's gonna go flying because of, you know, not having a lid, but we'll see. Right, here's the before. Ta-da! Can you see it? So beautiful. Yay, let's blend it. Right, moment of truth, I think. Oh no. It's gonna be loud. Oh, it's not plugged in. Now it's gonna be loud. Well, that's going well. I don't know if you can see, but like the middle block is just not moving in the slightest. This calls for a spatula. Like that's just frozen solid. I don't know how to fix this. This was not meant to be more work. Ugh, like why? We're getting there. This better taste good. I worked hard on this. I think it's a bit too thick, but hey ho, it's fine. Actually, it's a little bit too yogurty, I think. And I think the berries just come through very strong and very sharp. It's very refreshing, which is nice. But the truth is I'm just using the berries to use them up. I think once I've used this up, I'm then gonna buy, you know, like frozen fruit. So then I can make it how I want. I'm especially envisioning frozen mango. That's like frozen mango and frozen pineapple. Those are the two that are #1. Well, I've got it now, so yay. So it's a really hot day today and we made a very light meal, and I was just thinking the whole day I'm quite in the mood for ice cream. So Wayne very kindly, 15 minutes before the shop closes, went down and went out and bought some stuff, and this is what he's I thought he was coming home with like a tub of ice cream. No, he's brought, ooh, are these custard donuts?
They are.
Custard donuts. But I mean Viennetta, because apparently they didn't have the tubs of ice cream that we were in the mood for, but
Ben &
not gonna complain. And I wanted something with vanilla and chocolate, so this does the job. But excuse me, £2.
Oh, that's what I got.
Fair enough.
I didn't particularly want it, but it was £2.
14. This is hilarious.
Well, we can have 7 each.
But for £2, fair enough. So I'm going to be sending Wayne to the shops more often, I think, at this time of night.
Oh, I think I will be requesting not to go to the shop at this time of night again.
This has been unexpected, but very funny. Thank you.
Unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Oh,
Say
no.
unaccepted.
I'm very grateful that you went.
Unexpected. Doei.
He's been learning Dutch. Doei. Bye.